The hunt is on for a Wellington bread pest who's dumping food waste that's a magnet for rodents. Volunteers from Predator Free Mirimar have been cleaning up baguette discards that were ditched around Shelly Bay this morning, they think. It's the second time similar scraps have been offloaded around Wellington in the past couple of months, and it risks attracting predators. One of the volunteers, Dan Henry's, had a gutsful.
I got a message this morning from one of our lovely local Miramar community people who was out for a walk along the coast, and she sent me a photo of bread that had been dumped among the flax bushes on the edge of Shelly Bay Road. And, you know, at a glance from the photo, it looks like a couple of rubbish bags worth of sliced baguette, which is exactly what we had 6 weeks ago, early October, when this last happened. And so it's awesome that she got in touch, but it's really the opposite of awesome that this has happened again. Someone is out there wasting our time, basically.
Explain to us why this is such a big deal to be dumping food waste like this in the locations it's in.
Well, we've had an operation running in Miramar for 3 years. The community has been hard out trapping for rats, and we're down to the last few. And when you leave food waste lying around in huge quantities like that, it's just a 24-hour buffet for rats to feed on. And when rats have access to good food, they breed like rabbits, like rats, and that's what we don't want. So, that's why it's so critical for us and why we sort of leap on it so quickly. But standing back from that, it's just revolting. I mean, if this was anything other than bread, if this was offal, if this was fish heads, people would be absolutely up in arms because it's a revolting thing to leave on our beautiful coast. But I think some people think, oh, it's bread, and ducks and seagulls eat bread, so let's just leave it, it will be fine. But it's just disgusting.
Well, and anyway, bread for birds and seagulls is not great. It's not the...
it's really not.
It's like takeaways. It's like fast food for those kinds of creatures.
Yeah, and you know, their little wee constitutions aren't flesh, and, you know, they're going to wolf it down and they're going to die. So, no, you're absolutely right that it's not right. Unfortunately, human behaviour is a slow ship to turn, and, you know, we all grew up feeding bread to the ducks at the Botanic Gardens, whatever, you know, but I think people are beginning to learn that it's not the right thing. This person who's doing the bread dumping is just a slow learner, clearly, or, you know, they haven't seen the countless Facebook posts and messages that we're trying to get out there.
So, Dan, you mentioned the other incident where there was a significant amount of bread waste that was dumped. Do you reckon it is the same person? Does it look like that?
It absolutely looks like the same people that did this 6 weeks ago. Heck, if it's a different person, I feel like we've got a much bigger problem at hand. You know, we've got it's the same style of bread in the same kind of dumped in a similar location, you know, overnight as per last time. It looks like someone who is trying to avoid costing themselves waste management fees or rubbish bags or tip fees wherever you normally dispose of this kind of thing lawfully. They're clearly not keen to do it.
Dan, last time I recall that you found some packaging in what was left behind, a barcode or something similar. What did your own handy detective work find out from that? From
that, we had... It was actually passed to City Council, to some of the team, I think, in the environmental health team there, and they pursued it. And I don't know all the details. What I do know is it looks like that last lot of bread was purchased from a supermarket in the central city, baguettes. So they're obviously then sliced, I guess, at the restaurant or catering outfit, whoever is dumping this bread, slice after the fact, and but the trail went stale, Lisa. We don't know who bought it or who's responsible. So we hope that this latest round this morning may give us another shot at finding these people.
So, Dan, what time do you reckon that this was chucked out there?
It was suggested to us that it was there between 8:30 and 9:30 this morning. I think it is possible that it had been there prior to 8:30, that maybe it was dumped overnight, but I'd be very surprised if it was any earlier than last night, because it was still reasonably, it looked like it had not been there long in the location. So in the last 24 hours, I'd say.
Right, Dan, well, here's your opportunity. What would you say? We'll call them the bread pest. What would you like to say to the bread pest?
Firstly, please stop doing it. That'd be really fantastic. And look, put on your big boy pants and behave like a grown-up. Throw your rubbish out where it's supposed to go. Compost it, for goodness sake. Clearly they haven't got the message. Somehow they're oblivious to the fact we've got a rat eradication running, and they've got their head in the sand or somewhere else where the sun don't shine. So I'd just like them to cut it out and do us all a favour, so we can get on with the rat trapping instead of tidying up after other people.
And that was Dan Henry.